welcome to another Scottish mountain walking video. In today's video I'm returning to the Cairngorms to climb Braeriach, an easy route to navigate with well-made paths for the most part. The total distance for today's walk is 21 kilometres with 1,333 metres of ascent. It is expected to take around 8 hours to walk. There is no scrambling and little exposure unless you go right to the edge of the southeastern side on the way to the summit. As always, I show the full route in time-lapse and include video turn-by-turn commentary and panoramic views from along the walk. Parking is no longer free at the Sugar Bowl car park and it costs £5 for the day. You can fit around 30 vehicles, there are no height restrictions, there is no overnight sleeping in vehicles permitted. The Cairngorm campervan and motorhome car park is about 2 minutes drive away and it costs £15 for the night, but it's only available to vans or motorhomes that have self-contained toilet facilities, as there are no on-site toilets. It is around 3 hours drive from both Glasgow and Edinburgh. In the video I start the route on my mountain bike. I don't recommend it. From the car park, head south, cross the road and head down the footpath that is at the middle of the bend ahead. The path leads down to a bridge, cross the bridge and follow the path up on the right hand side, heading north. Then you'll come to a signed left hand path and then now you're going to start heading south. You follow this path all the way to the Chalamain Gap. You can either take the main path through the gap or use the bypass path on the northwest side of the gap. I chose to take the bypass path in both directions. There are large boulders that you have to make your way over, around and maybe even underneath sometimes, and it really slows your progress. And you'll see from the video there were several other walkers that I either caught up to or passed as they went through the gap. Continue to follow the main path. The map here shows several smaller paths, but the main path is the most obvious and clear path to take. There is a steep set of well-made rocky stairs leading you down to the approach to the Larry Grue. At this point you don't need to cross the stream as the stream itself goes underground and it surfaces just before you bend to the west. You're going to follow another well-made rocky staircase up on the opposite side and you can easily follow this path heading south and then it starts to bend off southeast up a steep and again another well-made path until the steepness starts to ease off, and this is the roughest section with a barely recognisable path at times just due to the rocky terrain. It's easy to navigate, you keep close to the steep drop that's on your left hand side. At this point, around the 1025 metre mark, there is a rocky small boulder field that you have to work your way through. It's not difficult, but it's not as easy as just walking on the path. I found keeping to the left hand side was the easiest way to get past this. And then when you get above that, you'll see a good clear path which you can follow all the way to the summit. The path starts to descend a little bit here and then it'll start rising up the opposite side. You're making your way up to a low point in the ridge ahead. When you get up to the ridge, there is a steep drop straight ahead of you and you're naturally going to bend to the right and then follow the path from there all the way to the summit. There is a steep drop off on the southeastern edge. The actual summit cairn is set back a little bit so you don't need to get too close if you don't like the altitude. From here you can see down to the east gully, the Black Pinnacle and then the west gully. And with the right weather you have amazing views of Cairngorms and the Angel's Peak, and you'll see that in the video. For this route, I retrace my steps back to the car park. It is possible to continue along the ridge and include the Angel's Peak, Cairngorms and the Devil's Peak and then return via the Larry Grue. This makes for a very long walk of around 36 kilometres, estimated to take around 13 hours. Good morning, it's 7:30. I'm at the Cairngorm motorhome and campervan park, just above the Sugar Bowl. I'm going to go down to the Sugar Bowl for the start of today's walk. Can't actually see Braeriach, it's over in that direction, other side of the hillside from here. So we'll just head down to the car park. There's no overnight parking, at least no overnight sleeping permitted in that car park. Pay and display £5 for 24 hours. From the car park, I'm going to head out to the left and just go up that way. Very quickly you'll leave the road and go down the trail directly ahead. So from the car park there is a walker path straight ahead. As I'm cycling I'll just go out onto the road and then go up. The time is now 10 to 8. Sugar Bowl car park is just back there. Very short section. Now we go down the track here on the right. I might end up pushing the bike more than cycling it. Some nice trails through the woods here. So cross this bridge, make our way up onto the ridge line just ahead, follow the path that goes along. It bends a bit to the right and then goes along to the left. Handy sign, want to go off to the left. I think the bike was a bad idea. The path is just too narrow for my capabilities. Just going to park it. It's a lovely morning. Some of this I could have cycled, but it was too much on and off for me. Cairngorms ski centre, with Cairngorm right in the centre at the high point. Doesn't look very big from here. The path starts to descend down to the left and up through that cutting in the mountain there. I think I would have really given up by now on the bike. You could get to this point without too much difficulty. Up ahead is the Chalamain Gap. There are two routes to get past this. There is a bypass on the right hand side, takes you up and then you go across the top there, or the more direct route is on the left slightly, goes through the middle of it on the left hand side. There are a lot of large boulders and so it is a bit of a work. It does take a bit of effort to actually go through the gap itself, climbing over and around boulders. It has been a while. It might not be as bad as I remember it. I'm going to take the bypass on the way to Braeriach, and I'll be able to see from above how difficult does it look to go through the gap. So there you can see how bouldery it is. I've pretty much caught up to him and he was miles ahead of me. So the quicker way is to take the high path. And now you join back up to that main path. I'm going to go all the way across. I think the path goes up to the left there, all the way up that ridge that's just in the sunlight at the moment. Braeriach summit, probably just out of view up there. Up on the left is the start of the Larry Grew. You could come in, camp around about here, and then go down the Larry Grew and do the Devil's Point, and then come back round the rim to Braeriach. You can also walk all the way in and do all of them. give an update when we get to the Larry Grew. That's where you've got to make the decision. So that's the Larry Grew up there, straight ahead. We're descending down. There's a path that cuts across and goes all the way down the Larry Grew. Takes you all the way down to Devil's Point and keeps going even further, taking you out towards Braeriach. You do have a decision to make here. You can go straight up the other side to Braeriach. It's about 5 kilometres away. Or you can go all the way down the Larry Grew to the Devil's Point, then go up the Devil's Point and come back round the rim to Braeriach. That walk is 26 kilometres from here back to this point, and then you've still got another 5 kilometres back to the car park, so it's 36 kilometres in total, and it will take another 9.5 hours to complete that circuit to get back to this point, and then probably another hour and a half to get back out. It's about 11 hours walking, and the time is 9:15. That would be very late, and it would be dark. So I think the sensible thing to do is just to go up Braeriach. And as a few other people have done, if you want to do the whole circuit, come into this point and camp. You can see a tent over there. You can see there are a number of paths going up the scars on the hillside over there. But you want to go down following this well-made path, go along the side of the river, further up from where those people are just down there. You want to go a little bit further up, and then you can see there's a path there, and it goes up there and then it doubles back up that long slope up to where the tent is. I'm at the turn off for Braeriach. Nice well-made path to start with. It is quite steep going coming up this path. Good news is it is a really good path. It makes it so much easier than if it had been a wet, boggy peat path. Just keep following this. I don't think there's any difficulties navigating this route from here to the summit now. I'm currently at 780 metres in altitude, just over 500 metres of altitude to go to the summit, and about 4.5 kilometres distance. So far this is a really nice path. I can almost see the summit of Braeriach. It's up there. So from here, the path goes along the left hand side here, up the ridgeline, and then you go along the ridgeline straight ahead. This section of the path, it's not as steep, but it's a bit rougher going. There's not a nice smooth path to walk on here. Some really nice views over the edge. Don't think it's coming out so great because of the sun. Very slight breeze. The sun's actually warm and it's mid-October. So there's the Larry Grew. There are some sections of boulders. I found keeping to the left edge seems to be working quite well. I'm just over 1100 metres in altitude, looking directly across at Cairngorm. Cairngorm is 1244 metres and today's summit is 1296. So a little under 200 metres of ascent still to go. It's going to start levelling off up ahead, get a little bit easier. I'm on a really nice path at the moment, easy walking. There is a slightly more direct route that goes over the top of the high point here. This just goes round. I think there's a little top and it descends slightly and back up the other side, so you can avoid that by following this path. The path splits here. The map only shows one path and it's not really clear which one. I know for certain if I go up to the right, I'm going in the right direction. I suspect that will go there as well. I'll just go this way. I can see the summit now, the little pointy section. Just there. A little bit of light cloud, should get above that again shortly. There's a little bit of descent and then we go down and make our way up to that little low point in the ridge directly ahead. We go up to there and then turn to the right and continue up to the summit. You can see the summit of Ben Macdooey just above the cloud there. It's only a few metres higher than Braeriach. You can get an idea how much still to do to get up there. It's about 140 metres from here. (140 metres of altitude to ascend, 1 kilometre distance. So that's the summit of Braeriach, just over there. Some big drops on the left. Something to be aware of in the winter. At the summit of Braeriach. It's a very large, wide cairn in this one. You can sit right on the edge . And enjoy the view. Looking across the Ben Macdui above the cloud there, and then you've got the long ridge of Cairngorms just over there. Let's see if we can zoom in a wee bit. Point to one there directly ahead, Cairngorms. And there's another one to the left of that. You can continue on this ridge, as I mentioned earlier. Work your way all the way around and up and down and up and down. It's going to be too much for me to do today. I think you really need to walk in, camp somewhere, then do the circuit. Probably at the Crewer Lodge. Looking west, you can just make out the summit peak of Scorguia. It's got a massive cliff face, but it's hidden at the moment from where I am. It's now 4 hours since I left the car park. Second highest Munro is Ben Macdui over there. I'm on the third highest, Braeriach. Fourth highest is the one you can see there, and then the fifth highest is to the right of it. 4 of the top 5 Munros for height, all in this little circuit. So from the summit I'm going to retrace my steps. It's about 10.5 kilometres distance, estimated to take about 3 hours on the way back. Still 225 metres of ascent, going up and down that top that was over there on the way here, and then up to the gap from the Larry crew. A little bit of up and down to do it. You're heading northeast a little bit and then east along. Just retracing my steps. You can see Cairngorms in the distance, so you're kind of heading that way to start with. I think that's me past the worst section. Just a little bit of boulders. I didn't come down quite the same way that I went up. The main path kind of cuts through the middle rather than the left hand side as you look up. From here on, it's a little bit rough until we get over the edge ahead, and then you've got the nice staircase. It takes you back down to Larrigrew. And it's a good path all the way back. I'm probably going to stick to the high side at the gap, save myself having to scramble and climb over boulders. It was quite obvious how much slower it is to go through the gap than to go around it. This morning I went up more over in that direction along the left hand side as you're ascending. You can see there's quite a clear path here, and it's probably a little bit easier to walk over. With the sun in my eyes this morning, it was very difficult to follow the path. Just want to make sure I get the top of the path here. It's a little bit to the right of the ridge. You can see the ridge goes over there on the left. Path goes down on the right. And the last bit, same as on the way up, it's quite rocky and vague to see where the path is. But it's very clear now. And just a little bit ahead, I'll be on the constructed path, so it's easy to walk down. Just joining the path that goes through the Larrigrew. Going to turn left. Good point to fill up with water just ahead, and then we go up to the right. This is a good set of stairs. It's quite steep and hard work, but nicely made. I'm coming to the start of the gap. Once again, I'm going to take the bypass. In this direction, it's even easier because you're not getting very much altitude. And going down, I'm pretty sure it's like an assault course. A lot of climbing up and over and around boulders. This was quite a nice easy walk on the left as we look at it. Straight away the path splits off. You want to take the less worn path here on the right hand side. I've just come down the other side of the gap. The only bit of this path that's muddy or peaty is this section if you take the bypass. The rest of it is all gravel, good condition. And there's not much shade in this walk. So even doing this mid-October and the sun's not as hot as it normally is, still getting a lot of sun. I estimate it's about 2.5 kilometres back to the car park. A little bit of uphill just ahead, and then close to the car park from the bridge back to the car park. I'm back at the bike. I think the only thing I'll be doing with that is pushing it back to the car park. I'm back at the car park exactly 7.5 hours after leaving. I probably stopped for about half an hour during the walk at different points. You can see the car park is pretty full. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to showing you more in the next one, and bye for now.